stay fluff. Eggs in the frying pan, that's the status. Stay dipped like the shoes, I'm laced up.
Check everything, bro. Can't be out here looking whack, man. That's unacceptable, bro. Yeah, we gotta be strizzy. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Word.
Yeah. So back at it, the grown man Cypher. Let me move this little mic a little bit. There we go.
Word.
So yeah, another episode. And man, this episode we're just coming at it with kind of how we were feeling for the day, man. You know, you
lunar
got those
eclipse, bro.
Yeah, lunar eclipse. Everybody's feeling weird. But yeah, so man, it's just really like doing this podcast and doing this. If you're doing anything, right, as a entrepreneurial goal or anything where you're trying to get a brand or something out there, right? There's going to be plenty of times where you don't feel like doing the work. Because especially early on, you're not seeing all the results, and you're not getting anything from the work for a while, you know.
Yeah, you just want to fast forward to like, can I fast forward to success?
Yeah,
I like this part.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I bet you a lot of people out there can, you know, if you're in college right now and it's just a regular day, it's, you know, whatever, middle of the week, and you're just like nothing really burning that you're looking forward to. It's just like just got to do your thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just. That's what we're doing. We're continuing on. So this episode's kind of going to be about doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it, because you know that ultimately it's going to pay off and that you're doing this for a reason. You know, you've already decided that, right? If you're in college,
definitely.
You're playing sports, you decide I'm playing sports and I'm going to college. So if you don't feel like doing it that day, you know, you're going to do it so that you're stronger the next day. And then you have days where you feel good and then you feel that much better. You know, it's like for this podcast, sometimes I got to stay up late, you know, and I'm getting it uploaded to YouTube and I'm just like, no, I just want to go to bed. I'll take care of it the next day. But I know like the next morning when I wake up, I think back, I'm like, oh, I did all that. I stayed up and I got it done.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to do the work when you don't feel like doing it so that not only to get where you want to go, but it's also motivational, you know what I mean? It makes you feel more in control. You know, you're not giving up. So that's kind of how we're feeling today, just doing today's podcast, because we're just kind of like, life's busy, you know what I mean? But we're doing this podcast and we've been releasing one every Friday.
It's a great stuff. I like Luke. I like what you said about like, it's the hump day, you know, so we're kind of getting over that hump, just kind of in the midst of, I mean, it's everybody's day, right? Everybody's kind of feeling that today. I mean, some people are like, yo, this is a great day, but you know, we're being our normal selves and we're cool and everything's all good, but you know, at the same time though, there's a couple things that we aren't exactly hyped about, but you know, still hammering through it and getting it done. So that's just kind of how it is, man. You have to be that way, man. You know, I love the way that he reminded me of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we weren't even sure we were going to talk about today, but then he brought that up. I'm like, word, yeah. And then he threw it in the hump day Wednesday thing. I'm like, man, it just totally fits. It totally fits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then, with everybody being all kind of, with the lunar eclipse and stuff, man, who knows? But, you know, it's just been an interesting day. So, but, you know, regardless, you know, we got to continue soldiering on. That's just how it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's like David Goggins talks about, man. He talks about how your mind can totally, you know, just, it can ruin it for you, man.
Oh, bro,
you know,
it's like if you can master this, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, you're going to be able to handle everything else, you know? It's like master your own mind.
Indeed, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it has its place, but when you allow it to introduce things that can be hindrances into your life, then that's not, you know, that's when you have to really be like, okay, you know, we need to kind of, you know, probably reel it in a little bit, you know, and get, you know, you just want to check that. Because it can, you know, I mean, you can kind of cause your own issues. It's like you already got enough stuff to deal with. Why you want to create your own?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the self-responsibility factor is like, you know, you're 50% of every situation, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're not looking for that situation, you know, but you got to navigate around it. You got to do what your 50% can do, you know, even if you weren't asking for it, you know? Dude. Because this is real. It's just life, you know? It
is, man. It's funny. It's like we were saying a little while ago, man. I was just thinking this as you were talking about this, bro. It's like, welcome to adulthood, you know? It's like, you know, I mean, I think I've mentioned this once or twice before. Like, if there, you know, in the adulthood contract, had I known, oh wait, I wouldn't have signed it. But you know, too late, we're here now.
Yeah,
And little
yeah.
kids are like, I want to be, you know, I was talking with an acquaintance this morning. She's like, this little kid was like, I can't wait till I'm grown and I can do whatever. What? It's like, there's a bit of a caveat there, my man.
Yeah.
I love what you said. Luke's like, yeah, you spend like, what is it, 12 hours doing a bunch of stuff you don't want to do to have like 1 hour to do it.
I can go do whatever I want to do.
For about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Then go back to all the stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
that's funny, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, you
know?
just don't realize the immensity of what it takes for life to happen in a sense with the
Oh
way
my
we
gosh,
live it, you
bro.
know, because, you know, being a kid, I remember thinking like, man, if I had $100, oh my gosh. And then I remember that was like young, dude. I don't know, like 4 or 5. And my
Facts,
dad being
bro.
like, nah, you're an adult, $100, be gone in a day easy.
Dude,
And now it's like, now you're like laughing, right? Like an hour right now.
You're like, bro, whatever,
Yeah,
man. A
you know
freaking
what I mean?
Cito's a joke, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, remember when $1 million was a lot of money, bro?
Dude, that was the whole thing. Yeah, right? That was the
You're a
joke.
millionaire.
You
It's
said
like,
$1 million.
bro, It's like, no, $1 million.
I mean,
bucks
for
is-
real, like if I got $1 million, I think I'd be good. Like,
Well, I mean,
but you know
most
what
of
I'm
us
saying.
would be,
It's
but
not.
you know,
It's not.
No, you're not gonna be out there like, you know, buying cruise ships and you know,
No.
like I got 20 mansions. It's like, bro, it's just $1 million. You know, calm down. You know, it's like $1 million now is like that's barely even hood rich, bro.
Bro, it's like you're gonna pay 30-40%
I was
taxes.
just about to say that, right? You're like, bro, calm down. You don't have as much money as you
So
think.
what? You got $600,000 at the end, and
You better
then
do something smart with that, for you lose it.
that's a house.
Exactly.
And then you don't. Do you have money to pay the property taxes?
Dude, see, and that's
I
what,
was saying,
and-
like-
bro, and that's what that kid didn't. He's like, okay, it's perception versus reality. Yes, it's a when you think about what adulthood is. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do, but rest assured, there's a lot more people who are holding you accountable. There's a lot more things, you know, that are accountable. It's just kind of like when you hit 18, right? You're like, yeah, I'm 18. It's like, whoa, I'm 18, you know, because it's like the level of responsibility and the level of the stakes kind of raised, bro. You know, I remember even, here we go, I'm always talking about fighting. When I was a kid, I used to get into a lot of fights, but I tell you something, man, I don't know what it was. As I got older, I started to kind of be cool because I started to see a lot of my friends getting locked up.
Mm-hmm.
I saw my friends getting shot. I saw my friends getting stabbed. I saw my friends getting beat up. I
Yeah,
saw
those
my-
fights went from the grade school to getting pretty serious pretty quick. As soon as you got in
Exactly,
junior
bro.
high, bro, it was like a whole nother game. It wasn't just like you were beefing on the playground. No, you had to go and like watch your back everywhere you went.
Yeah, dude, and then there's other
Stuff
people coming into
excelled,
it.
yeah.
Go, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, man, like from grade school to junior high, things excelled quite a bit, you know.
And then
So-
in adulthood, it's just even worse. It's like, and
Yeah.
here we go, right? You know, you're thinking that things are going to be so different or whatever, but you don't realize that at 18, because that's the thing I started thinking about. Not only was I seeing this happen to my friends, I'm realizing that you bring a whole nother context, and that's the context of having to be, you know, accountable to the law. You could lose your freedom over something, you know, like you said, a schoolyard brawl. Next thing you know, you're locked up for 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? Or even worse, if someone's dead. So, I mean, the thing about it is just, yeah, you have to recognize that, you know, things change. You know, the stakes aren't quite the same. So, I mean, you know, nonetheless, because I'm kind of getting off topic, but nonetheless, it's like, you know, we have to be mindful of these things when we're stepping, you know, into another realm, or even when life's constant changes, right? I mean, it never changes, so you have to
Yeah.
be mindful of these types of things, you know, as you're going forward. But to bring it back to what you said, it's like, you know, in order to avoid your life being that way, you have to do the work. You have, even if the work means not being susceptible to these things that you may have been susceptible to before, and that was kind of for me. I would fight at a moment's notice when I was young, but then as I got older, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I can't be doing that kind of stuff. If I want to have any kind of life that's worth something,
Yeah.
I have to recognize that, you know, I have to do the work of not allowing myself to be involved in this situation. I have to do the work of being responsible. I have to do the work of doing things that are going to be constructive and creative. And they're not always going to be the easiest or the fun or the things I want to do,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
what's necessary.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, doing the things you want to do is sometimes not doing certain things, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's not always what you do, it's what you don't do too, you know? So like, that's what I'm saying, like, each and every day, you know, like if you're in a mood like this, you got to watch yourself because it's easy to have those negative swings that could have an impact that you could be dealing with longer than just having one bad day.
Bro,
you know what I mean? You
all it takes is 1 second.
You know what I mean? And then you have a conversation with somebody, and you're like, you say something you don't mean just because you're just like, I just got to get that out. You know what I mean? And then
that was me this morning, dude.
Yeah.
Real talk, that was me this morning. I woke up with a thought and a feeling, and then I was off. And then I had to grab myself and be like, hey, man.
I think you wonder what we're dreaming sometimes, bro, because you can wake up in a mood, you know what I mean? And you just like...
Indeed, man.
And it feels so real, you know what I mean? So that's definitely in the morning, man. You got to like give yourself some time just to not even trust some of those feelings.
And dude, look, here, back to the idea of what we're talking about. It's like you can't allow those things to throw you off from the work.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's easy to let that happen, though. You know, it's easy to do. It's easy to let, you know, he's a punk. You know, or man, I can't believe this, and you know, it's like that line about Murs, man. He's like, you know, got you off in your feelings. Now you're up in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like shake that attitude and do what you can. Set a couple goals, follow through with your plans. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Time waits for no man, and tomorrow's not promised. So it's easy, and it's like me and your mom talk about. It's easy to get caught up in that stuff, but you gotta stay the course. You got, like you said, bro, you're gonna get bumps and bruises and trip or whatever along the way, but you gotta kind of stay, as people say, in-game focus.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have a goal, if you don't have a goal, then, you know, I don't know, you might, you know, but like if you're pursuing something in life, you know what I mean, anything in life that you want, you know, and you know what you gotta do, you gotta go through those steps every day, you know, regardless of what's getting in your way. Like, man, this is like a metaphor example where I was hearing about this, because man, being trash man, you know, picking up trash.
Yes.
Like there's this one guy that I've talked to at my work when he'd come in, and like, dude, it's a crazy job because you're driving this big thing, right? And you're responsible. Like if you get like, supposedly this one guy ran over a biker downtown, right? And he was responsible for it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like, not only is he doing, but like, so like you're doing something like that, right? Like you're driving this big truck and you can't see, and it's like things are popping out at you all the time, right? And you're responsible for your life, or what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
This metaphor being in the same, and things are going to happen, and you got to be looking around, and you have to deal with whatever comes up, but you still have to go pick up all the trash. You still have to do the work,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that, man. I love that.
So it's just like, man, it's like certain things aren't ideal. You know, like right when we're setting up, the mic was tripping out. Yeah, you know, just different little things. You know, and it's just like, bro, those things could be
that metaphor.
Those things could be giant, or you know, you just be, you know, you just.
Bro, I'm listening. I'm just tripping. I'm listening to you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, bro.
Bro, it's too. It's like working out during the winter. You know, staying fit all year round, right? You're like, man, I'm not going to no beach. I'm not taking my shirt off.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I counting my calories and doing all this cardio and all this ab stuff?
It's too
cold.
Bro,
but then summertime you're like, oh, I got a chance to go to Hawaii, and you're just like, boom, beach ready, and like you're like, I put in that work, I kept myself where I wanted to be, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's just an example of doing the work when you don't want to do it. So then when it's time to shine, it's like, bro, you're like, it's like being on you're on the basketball team, right? And you're getting discouraged because you're always on the bench, you never get put in. So maybe you're not pushing as hard in practice, right? But then you get your time to shine. You go out there, you know that you're cold because you haven't been.
Dude.
But bro, if you playing like you're the starting five, and then you get called out, you know what I mean? So it's about that. It's like, you know, when you're serious about pursuing something, you know what I mean?
Bro.
So, and I think we're coming from that perspective because, you know, I know we don't, you know, we've been consistent. We've been posting a podcast once a week. You know, we're only on Instagram maybe once or twice a week. You know, we're not, you know, so we haven't made a huge presence, but you know, we are doing this, and we're constantly taking a look at it and seeing what we need to do.
Most definitely.
And reconvening and building. You know what I mean, to get to that point. So I think it's just kind of where our minds are at, and it's something that can relate to like any situation in life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's why it just feels real to talk about. You know what I mean?
Bro, I mean, I don't think you could have been any more spot on today, man, with all the stuff. I mean, just spot on, bro. I'm just like, it's crazy. Like the last 2 episodes, like I was saying, it's just like Luke's just, I always say this, he's like just awesome in so many regards, but you know, ever the idea generator, but the last 2 episodes have been Luke's idea. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes
got the least amount of views.
No, bro. Whatever,
know?
bro. Whatever, bro. They don't listen to that, man. What are you talking about?
I just joking.
You know, he's always got like hella good ideas, hella good concepts, you know, and it's like, we'll plan an episode out like a week before, right? Or even like next week, you know, and then we get there and we're like, we're going to do something different. You know, sometimes we do it and sometimes we don't, you know. But, you know, I just think the last 2 episodes have just been really good. The dynamic's good. And it's just like, it's crazy how like you can just kind of like, it's like you have the sixth sense, man. You tune in and you're like, we need to go here. And I'm like, yeah, we do, bro. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And it's just good though, bro. And it works out, you know, it ends up producing, it ends up just being, you know, you tap into that energy and then, you know, the idea comes out and it just, you know, it goes from concept to reality, you know, flawlessly, you know what I'm saying, without a bunch of hangups, except for maybe like the mic, but.
Yeah, we got that figured out, though.
Yeah, so, but nah, I'm grateful for that, man.
Yeah.
Just spot on, though, bro. You just dropped 2 ill gems, bro. You kill me with that garbage one, bro. That's ill, bro. It's just like, you're like, man, I gotta drive this big old truck. Like, yeah, you do, but there's a lot of trash that needs to get, you know, picked up, too. You're like, and that, too? You know, so it's just like, but there you go, bro. That's why everybody doesn't drive a trash truck.
Yeah.
And it's an oft repeated thing about if it was easy, everyone would do it. But it's true though.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's oft repeated.
Yeah. And you know, so I mean, with that being said, it's like you know, pick your poison. You know, I mean,
Lord,
like choose
bro.
your battles. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Gems, bro.
Right? Not everybody's
Yeah,
going to
bro.
be that trash truck driver, but you know, it's like it's a metaphor for other things.
Man.
Like if you're going to be an accountant, right? You're going to have your back up against the wall with something else. You know, there's going to be something else. So it's just finding the thing that works for you. And I don't know. I have a pretty intense attitude. Like I don't really, like I try to pick myself up as fast as I can. You know, like I go for like almost like a bodybuilder inspiration with life, you know, in a sense. Like, like I got another quote from C.T. Fletcher, and it's this whole acronym, right? He sells T-shirts and hats with this on it. You know what I mean? Like, I won't say the whole thing, you know what I mean? But it's pretty much just like, oh, my arm hurts, or oh, I had a bad day, or this or that. And, you know, you're at the gym, right? And someone just did their set, and now it's your set. And you're talking while you're working out, but it's like, okay, so what? It's your set.
Real talk, man.
Do your set.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? So what? Do your set.
Dude, real talk.
So you know, so it's just like, I don't know. You can sit in a place as long as you want and linger with it, but you're still gonna have to do the work eventually. So it's like, how fast do you want to get on with it? You know?
No, most definitely, dude.
Mhm.
I mean, again, it still just brings me back to, you know, what we're talking about. It's like, you know, your mind can give you all the reasons why not to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't change the fact that you need to get it done.
Yeah.
Are you going to sit there and listen to, you know, other things, people, and even your own mind to get psyched out of the work that you know you need to do? Or you're going to just, like I always say, Nike shit, just do it. Sometimes you got a Nike shit, man.
Yeah.
You're like, just do it.
Just do
It's
it.
like me when I run and it's cold. That's made me think about a couple minutes ago. Sometimes, you know, I'm like, man, excuse me, I'm like, and, you know, you're just like, you know, you just, it's cold outside and I'm cold in the house, but it's just like, no one's gonna run for you, bro. And I'm just like, damn, you know.
Yeah,
so
and you
get
gotta
your ass up and go do it.
Yeah, and you got to have a healthy perspective at looking at like, because a lot of what we do is compound effect, right? So a lot of times you're throwing, you know, you're investing in yourself, right?
Oh
so it's like
gosh,
you're buying
bro.
that Bitcoin now, or you're buying that AMC stock. AMC, I said, I don't know if any of you guys on that, but I've been following that. Anyways,
Why?
You're investing in that, right? And you're not seeing the rewards from that eventually, but then when that stuff blows up like GameStop,
Real talk.
and you're
bro.
getting paid, you realize the compound effect, you know? It's like those quarter machines. You put the quarters in, they got that quarters that are just about to tip over, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're adding quarters to your device, and you're gonna have the tip off, but if you don't keep putting in that work, you're never gonna get the reward. So it's just, and that's kind of, you know, it's like where we're at, you know, with the YouTube thing. You're like, we want to
Facts.
reach more people.
Facts.
You know, it's like we'd like to monetize the channel so that we can spend more time doing this, so we could bring more value, do more cool videos, have more time to spend with this, right? Because
Indeed.
we have to like carry on the rest part of our lives, and we're doing
Yeah,
carving out time to do this and try to build this up.
most definitely.
But we're realizing the compound effect that we got to keep doing it. So it's just like control what you can, let go of what you can't.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like that was from the Andre Agassi, like supposedly his personal, like his head coach.
That's
His
true,
biography
though,
would
bro.
tell that to him, and he would repeat that to himself. I'm like, man, it's so true. Like control what you can, let go of what you can't.
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to get caught up in stuff like that, man. I mean, and like he's saying, it's like we will continue to do this, but I mean, we're human too, so we feel stuff just like everybody. So or everybody else, better yet. So, and then today's just like he said, it's just one of them days you're just kind of like, just kind of throwing it out there, man. Just miscellaneous musings and ramblings, but at the same time, on the topic of the fact that the work still needs to be done and you got to continue going through. One of the things that this kind of speaks to as well, and this is one of the things that I realized, and I think David Goggins was talking about this.
Yeah, man, David Goggins.
He's a sharp dude.
See,
man.
that's the kind of motivation I need.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling down, I don't need a hug or a pat on the back. I need a slap in the face. I need David Goggins or CT Fletcher.
You like BJ Penn.
Yeah.
Before you fight.
Exactly. I need that, right? Exactly. That's the
but-
kind of stuff that gets me hyped. Everybody's different, but
Dude, that is 1,000%, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I was gonna mention real quick is, and it still talks to this as well, is the idea that one of the things that so many people are missing these days is mental fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
You hit that point and you're like,
They're trying to tell you don't need it anymore.
bro, you say that again?
I feel like society's trying to tell you don't need it anymore.
Bro, I think that makes me like quadruple down.
100.
Don't tell me something like that. No, don't. I got this. I don't need you to tell me, I'm like that. Because I'm a stubborn dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. I'm like, oh, well, okay, well, let me show you something. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be telling me, I'll do this. I'm me. But, yeah, that mental fortitude, like when, my stomach hurts or, get out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, everybody's got something.
Mm-hmm.
You still got, and then that mental fortitude is like, what I'm saying? Yo, I don't know. But then the mental fortitude is just like, it's like you pushing yourself, like, get out there.
Yeah.
Get out there. Yeah, but get out. It's like when I run. I'm like, oh, man. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I've wasted 20, 30 minutes, sometimes even an hour before I go run.
Your run
I'm
would
like,
have been over.
right? And something's like, look, if all else fails, go jump in the shower, warm your muscles up, and get your ass out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get out there, and then the wheels start going, and I'm like, okay, now I'm in my zone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing when I used to train in martial arts. There would be some times where you're just like, I think we talked about this before, those days when you're just like, nah, but you push yourself to do it. Once you get in the zone, you're like, damn, I'm glad I did this. But then some days you do it, and you still are like, nah, but at least you got it done.
Yeah.
And then
It's like every time I go skate these days, right? Because I'm like, oh man, I'm going to be so sketchy because I haven't skated in a while.
Yeah.
And then just the fact of like, got to go to the spot and get warm. It sounds dumb, but then as soon as you get there, you're hyped. You go home, you just feel so good. You're like in a better mood for everybody else because you did what you needed to do.
Up, man.
So. Yeah,
Like,
man,
yeah,
it's
man.
doing those things you need to do to take care of yourself. You know that going for a run
Bro,
makes you feel
everything.
better, and you're
Yourself,
not feeling
everything.
good. You're just feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah, and that
Man,
doesn't help
do a little
anybody.
something like give yourself a little kick and force yourself out to go for that run.
Bro,
Because then
and
you'll
him-
feel like you controlled that situation. It'll empower you.
Dude.
And
Bro.
even if you come back and you still feel the same, at least you got to work out.
Dude, yeah, right? It's still benefit no matter what. And here goes another thing. And this is also funnels into the topic. There's nothing wrong with tough love. Sometimes you gotta be tough on yourself. Right? You gotta be
Still
tough.
love,
It's like,
yeah.
who else is gonna do the work? It's like we talk about with the fitness. Oh, it's just like either, like I said, no one's gonna run for me. No one's gonna do push-ups for you. No one's gonna do those push-ups for you. No one's gonna, get out and ride your board for you. Do it or don't. It's on some Yoda shit, man.
Yeah.
Do or don't do.
Do or don't do.
Simple as that,
Don't
man.
just stay in that middle and torture yourself. You know what I mean? That's no
It's
good.
not cool. That's whack.
If you're not
man.
going to go do it, just say, I'm not going to do it. You know
Own
what I
that
mean?
shit. Be accountable
Own
for
it.
it. I'm becoming a lazy fat ass. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge you, but that's you. I'm not doing that, but cool.
Yeah. If that's you, because honestly, bro, some people are like, no, I don't exercise, and they have no inhibition or any like they'll say it in a second just because they
Right.
don't, you know what I mean? Not saying that they're not healthy or whatever, but they're just
No,
like,
it's
I'm
just
not
them.
into that.
That's them.
And they're not hung up on, like they've already made the decision, right?
Facts, man.
And I think there's a lot to be said for just not having a lot of things, just the knowledge of self, knowing a certain aspect of knowledge of self, you know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
absolutely.
Of what you like and don't like, that kind of basic knowledge of self, you know?
Dude, bro. It's you just made a point that kind of made me think about that as far as, it makes me think about excuses too. That's another thing.
Well, we talked about that, right? Like, if you want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find excuses.
Dude,
That's like 100%.
It stayed with me, bro. I was just like, oh my gosh, man.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, back to the mental fortitude and all these things that you need to have to continue forging forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have the mental fortitude, so then you gotta look for a reason to make it okay. But then, like I said, the tough love is the thing that's gonna snap you out at. Like, snap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's wrong with you? It's like
Yeah.
we said a little while ago, and you were just saying about picking yourself, bouncing back quick.
Mm-hmm.
You made a mistake. All right, cool. I gotta keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
There's no option. There's no option if you want to succeed. You have to keep moving.
Yeah,
in
you're
a
not just
situation.
that one instance, right?
And I love the way you said that.
Right,
man.
you're not that one action, right? Like that's something that happened that's now redirecting you to go somewhere. And if you did something that bums some people out you care about, it's not going to do them or you any better to just mope and hang out. You know what I mean? You got to say sorry
Exactly.
and move on. But it's just not doing you or anybody else any good.
Nah, bro, stay to the mission.
Stay to the mission.
I mean, simple as that. The mission don't change. I mean, even like bro, back to the analogy episodes ago.
Mhm.
Remember the one where we talk about war, stuff like that?
Mhm.
You know what? In the midst of that mission, you started out with a squad of 20 dudes and you lost 3, and then you were almost done and then you lost 2 more. Everybody didn't make it, but the mission was accomplished. But that was part of what had to happen in order for us to get to the mission. But we didn't say, we lost 3 guys, let's stop. You're like, bro, we went too far to quit now.
Mhm.
And we all have the same mindset anyway. So we're going to continue forging forward, until the last man,
Mhm.
I mean, it's analogous to that, just continuing on with the mission. What are you going to say, bro?
I was just going to say, too, you look back on anybody that you look up to, if you look up their come-up game and just see where they were at,
Gosh,
right?
bro.
People look like, awkward or they just don't have things figured out, right?
Yeah.
They don't have people believe, they don't have what they have now, right? So it just doesn't
Exactly.
make sense to everybody yet. But they had the mental fortitude to keep pushing forward. I've seen pictures, it's someone I've seen that people post quite a bit. It'll be like Travis Scott performing to like nobody, and then there's just
Really?
this huge audience, right? And it was like in a
Wow.
span of like 3 years that he
Okay.
did a lot. Like he went like big, you know what I mean? So
So
like you could do that with
interesting.
anybody, right?
Okay.
That's done something, but everybody had at some point where like just nobody cared about it. Like right, like dude, nobody wanted to sign Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to sign Jay-Z
Yeah.
like way back, you know what I mean?
No, I
And
get
now
it.
look at Jay-Z, like he's like one
I
of the most
remember back in the
powerful
Hawaiian
dudes in-
Sophie days, man. Him
Dude.
and Jazz tongue twisted. Now he's like, he's like the dude a lot of guys even look up to. He's almost like the, partial godfather of the hip hop game these days.
Yeah, dude. So it's like it's just like people, they're not gonna get it until they get it, and you just gotta
Facts.
have the mental fortitude to keep going. You know what I mean?
No, most definitely. And check this out. The Jay-Z thing you just mentioned made me think about this. So along the way, situations and things, and even just going through it and continuing the work, it changes you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jay-Z, he started out, now he's just, talking about all kind of stuff,
Mhm.
do the knowledge, do the few dollars, I'm through the demolished cruise, bring
Mhm.
the hollers to a hood near you, and even above that, it's
Yeah.
just like he's on a whole different level, and cats see him, and he's been able to grow and mature and become this thing that a lot of
He
cats
has
are like,
an
look at
in-game
him.
focus, bro. To bring it back.
Exactly.
Bro,
Totally,
who was
bro.
it? Who did he grow up with? Did he grow up with Meek Mills? Who did he grow up with?
He was with he used to
was
rhyme with
his-
this dude Big Jazz back in the days.
I was trying to think. They had this. Damn, bro, I can't remember who it was, but it's somebody he grew up with, and they were interviewing him, and he was talking about a time where Jay was telling him, he's like, "Bro, I care about you, but I don't need you."
Man, know that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
know
like,
that.
"Bro, I care about you, but I don't need you," and it was his way of giving him tough love. And it
Sounds
sounds
like me in relationships. It was like, it's like that's a different topic, y'all.
Yeah.
But not, anyway, yeah, you said care
But
about
bro,
you.
like, you know, just like he's one of those guys. He had that in-game focus, and
Yeah.
and dude in the interview was saying that, like, bro, like he got what he was saying right there, and he changed his game from at that moment. You know
Most
what I mean? So
definitely.
it's like what he needed to hear at that moment, and it was received well. And it's just like, you know, respect the real ones that care about you. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones that are gonna help you grow. You know what I mean? Because, man, I love it when people give me, like, more perspective on myself. So that's why I like having this guy around, because
I was about to say the same
you're
thing
one of
about
the few
you,
people
bro.
that will, like, let me know, you know what I mean? So,
It's all good, man. You know, I mean, you know, just a real quick shout. We said it before, man, but, you know, appreciate the blessings in your life, man. Me and your mom were talking about that, man. Appreciate the blessings. And even in the form, of course, of people, right? There's so many people in your lives that bless you, you know what I'm saying? Even the people who are you're blessed enough to have in your life to tell you, keep going when you
Yeah.
want to quit, you know? Sometimes it's not just you doing this. Sometimes it's somebody going, hey, man, you know, I got you. Come on, man. Keep going. I'm like, bro, why you quitting now? Like, oh, that's right. Cool. You know, so you just appreciate blessings. It's the same way I feel about this guy. I mean, he's an amazing human, for starters, you know? So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love that, man. What is it? I love you, but I don't need you in a relationship. But also, yeah, I care about you, but I don't need you. You know, and that's just let you know that regardless of what goes on, you got to continue moving forward. You can't let any one or thing be the reason. You have to know that your mission is, like you said, that you got to stay focused on the end game. You can't go like, oh, well, you know, my car broke down, so I quit. You know, or they're not my friend anymore, so I quit. Well, you doing it for him or for yourself?
exactly. Yeah, exactly, bro. Because, man, think about that, too. If you have a crew of people that think that way,
Oh, my
dude, you're
goodness, bro.
unstoppable, bro. Because you're not just being held up by one person. You have 5 people that other people could write the coattails of, you know what I mean? So,
And I'm trying to make sure, like, I heard your point, but I'm going to say this, and let me know if I'm reiterating or saying the same thing you said. Or even when you have a crew that starts out with you, and then you see cats dropping off, right? And then next thing you know, you're just that lone man, right? But you're like, you know what, I love all y'all, but I got to, you know, I had to keep going. And then you get there, and they're like, bro, you're like, dude, what did you expect me to do? I told you what the deal was. Bro, real quick, it was like that when I started tech school. You know, I did just 2-year program, you know, electronic engineering technology. But one of the things they told us, they said, this class is starting out with like 38 people. And they said in the over the course of 2 years, you will see this class continue to shrink. And I'm 17, like, okay, got it, you know? Bro, by the time we were done, I think it was like, 12 people in our graduating class.
yeah, bro.
And then here's the thing, bro. Even people that you thought would never not make it, didn't make it. Right?
Seriously, bro, there's certain people just have certain, like, it'll seem like everything's together, but there'll just be one thing that's
my
that's just
gosh,
not hitting
bro.
right, that doesn't work with that, you know what I mean?
Dude,
So,
my
I
goodness.
mean, dude, that happens with me in different things. I'm just like, whoa, like, I thought I was really into this, but there's a certain aspect, you know, that's real, right? Especially
Of
when,
course.
you know, you're going to go through experiences, and sometimes you're not going to know things till you get into them, you know what I mean? And then you're redirecting, you know what I mean? That's pushing you to where you need to be or whatever, but
Most definitely.
yeah. So just knowing that too, you know, just not getting too discouraged, you know what I mean?
No, and you can. I mean, you know you're going to feel stuff. That's just part of it. I mean, it's what makes you human. You know, we're not robots.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But I think just remember, there's no real cheat codes to life, and life is
Oh,
is
Lord,
never
no.
going to be like necessarily easy. You have to do the work. So if you're feeling it, it's just like that's just real. So if you just accept that, it's like. But if you're consistent and you're making the best choices you can day in and day out, and even if you fall back, you're bringing yourself back to center, and
Facts.
then moving forward from there. It's not about like falling off. It's about getting back on and getting back on track.
Real talk, bro. And this is something else, just to kind of buttress over on a point that you were saying, to build on that. When you're feeling it, then I'll let you know that you're doing it.
Yeah, that's a good sign. That means you're actually in it, right?
Yeah, bro.
You're in it.
If
You're
it's just
in
like
it.
everything just easier, it's like, wait a minute, something's not right. Right?
It's like sitting on the beach and looking at some crazy waves, right? But then if you're surfing on that wave, I don't surf, dude. I won't even go in the ocean, but it's a good metaphor maybe. You're surfing on the wave, right? You got to have your whole like body has to be engaged to
Yeah.
stay on your board, and right, so like you're actually in it, just
Yeah.
like any situation, you're feeling the pressure, right? I got to edit this, I got to do this, I got these other people, you know, that I need to call and email that are planning on me, right?
Yeah.
That's you in the wave. And then everybody else that like
Excellent.
just looks at the end goal, looks at all these famous people, oh, I'd like to be that, but they never get out on the wave and surf. They're just on the beach watching it. So it's
Dude.
like, so to be honest, bro, there's nothing wrong with sitting on the beach and working at the soda stand, you know what I mean? But just
Yeah.
don't torture yourself. Like if you don't
Yeah.
want to be out on that wave, you know, the worst place I think to be is, you know,
Yeah.
and just never,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just
that
feel
dude
like,
he's ankle deep in the water talking about what he might do. It's like, bro, sit down.
yeah.
You know. But nah, bro, it's but recognize though when you're out on that wave, it's gonna be real.
Yeah, it's going to be real. It's going to be real. So
It's as simple as that, you know.
There'll be more
Armchair
real.
quarterback, is that what they say? So
bro, so
word, bro. This
Yeah,
is dope,
it's
man.
been dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. The inspiration, and you're just like, yeah, let's go this way. I'm like, word. It just like you said, man. As far as how it hit, this was like spot on, bro. I think so.
Just wanted to keep it real. It's how we were feeling. So it was just a natural energy into the whole conversation.
And then most definitely, man. If anybody out there is relating to that today, or even in the day that you watch this, cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, take what you can from it, man. There were some gems dropped. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, remember one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, man. That's just how it's gonna be, man. But don't quit. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
quit.
Like Body by Jake, man. Don't quit.
Don't quit. Get it
So-
done, and then
And you'll
that's the
get
thing,
there.
man. You get in the zone, you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna get this done. You get in the zone, it's almost like before you know it, it's done, and then you're
Facts,
just like,
man.
you're on to the next thing, and then you're like, oh yeah, oh, I already did all that. It's done,
Yep,
bro. And then you feel empowered,
you do.
and it's just like, it's just it's this thing. So it's just bringing yourself back to center, focus, get back on track.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
man.
Because
Most
honestly,
definitely.
falling off sometimes gives you the perspective of realizing that oh man, I felt so good when I was on point.
Yeah.
I've had, sometimes you get 2 or 3 days, just like you get sick, right? And you can't go do the things you want to do. So you're just sitting at home and you're just like, oh, I just want to go, I want to play basketball, I want to skate, I want to make music.
Netflix and chill.
I can't do anything, right? So then when you feel better, you're just like, you have this new revived energy because you're
Of
not,
course.
you know, you're not taking anything for granted because it's like you get it taken away from you for a minute.
Dude, it's like that Larry June line I quoted a little while back about what he said, to live like this, you're going to have to take L's, you're going to have to fall off, you're going to have to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, you're going to have to take L's. I mean, it's like you said, bro, no cheat codes.
No cheat codes. Dude, the people that are winning the
Even in
hardest
the
are taking
internet.
more L's than anybody who's not trying.
Indeed.
Just like I was watching this influencer, bro, and he was like, I'll lose 100 followers in a day,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll get 400, so I'm netting 3.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, if you lost 100 people on your Instagram, you'd be like, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, what's, you know, like
I'm ruined.
Like, what's going on? But it's just like, no, it's just like the mental fortitude to push through, you know, and those are the people that make it. You know what I
Indeed,
mean?
man.
Those are the
And then
people that
knowing
make
that you're the same person before, during, and after of sorts, right? I mean,
it. Mhm.
who you were is still the same. Of course, you've added to the cadre of whatever, as I say, tools that you had, but, you know, and you may have lost some things along the way, hopefully bad habits or bad things, but, you know, it doesn't sound like you don't say, well, I had a lot of confidence when I started, but now I'm nobody. No, bro, you just went through some shit. It's okay, bro. We all
Yeah.
do. It's like, oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, just remember too is that if you are one of those people that, if you're feeling down and you're like, no, I'm still gonna do it. You're one of the few, so that means you are ahead of a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's like,
That was just
what was the
church
whole
right
thing?
there,
It's like,
bro.
right? Even if you're not doing much, you're still lapping everybody who's just sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? So,
Dude, well, that was church right there, bro. This is dope, man. This is
no
dope.
doubt. So
Hey,
just
man.
some inspiration.
Go what are you gonna say?
What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, bro. Do you want to say anything about any of the exercise workouts?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we're gonna be doing just real quick.
So, yeah, so like we did the whole 30 series, right? And, you know, me and C, like, you know, we're not bodybuilders by any means, but we definitely take
Or
personal
pro athletes.
fitness or pro athletes, but
Nah,
like
just regular
personal
dudes, man.
fitness and staying in a certain place, you know, is definitely something that we've done, and we're gonna I don't know. Why don't you talk about it? Like,
Luke
trying
had
to
a good
figure out
idea.
exactly we're gonna do it. But what was some of the inspiration? Right, it was just like some workouts, like
Oh,
basic
well.
stuff that anybody could do. Right.
No, totally. I mean, again, we've kind of tried and bring that to people. Just the whole idea of, me being 45 and Luke being, almost 40. You know what I'm saying? And being in the condition, the shape that we're in. Like, I mean, I can see my abs year round. I'm pretty cut and in shape, even when I'm off. But the thing we're trying to do, because we're both in that same shape, but we're regular dudes.
Especially after this whole 30, it put me in that next little, and I'm like, man, I'm just gonna stay on the whole 30 as much as possible. So yeah, we're just kind of both in that place right now. You know what I mean?
No, and what he's saying is exactly the deal. It's just like you make those life changes, and then you start to become certain ways, and then it just becomes your regular way of being. We've talked about this before, but we're just gonna demonstrate some of what we do. We figure, if we can reach one person, we've done it. And see, and this is the thing, and this is why I'm glad I had this guy here to push me, because a lot of times I'm like, I just been doing it, so many things are intuitive, but this is also something I appreciate that he says, is he talks about bringing value, and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who cares about what I do? But I'm like, maybe somebody does care.
But what you're doing works, and I think for me, it's just because my perspective is a little different. Like I've never gotten like too far out because I played sports growing up, so I was always in a certain condition. I feel like I built up a certain amount of muscle early on. I was able to like keep, but like I did like when I was tattooing, I got out of shape. So I've had to come back from that.
Word.
And the definition that I've got, I didn't have 4 years ago, like when I kind of started down the health fitness area.
Most definitely.
And to be honest, like where I'm at now, it seemed almost impossible in a sense because I didn't have the correct knowledge, and honestly I was wasting my time with a lot of things that I didn't need to waste my time with until I got the right information.
True.
You know what I mean? And it was way more simple, bro, than I thought. So it's like really, I don't go to the gym. I don't even do a ton of cardio.
I'll run, but
yeah.
No, you're right. At the end of the day,
but you can. It's like if that's what you like doing. But I'm saying like you don't even necessarily have to be running. Like I walk, so I do walk. So I walk.
Best exercise you can do.
I walk at least a mile a day,
dude.
So I guess that's
perfect.
Yeah. But besides that, it's just like it's the kitchen, bro. You like that's it,
dude.
Like seriously, you can go to the gym. You can go 5 days a week, but if you don't change what's happening in the kitchen, you don't have to be a personal trainer or like a what do you call it, food person and like a dietitian.
Yeah, like dietitian, a nutritionalist, or
Yeah.
But yeah,
because if you look at the amount of calories you burn, right? You're gonna burn what 100 to 200 calories or something walking a mile. Running a mile, or is it running a mile you burn 200? I can't remember if it's 2 or 4 if you run a mile or something like that, right? So, I mean, that's great. But if you go run that mile and then you go, man, I worked out, so I'm going to eat pizza tonight. Bro, not only did you eat back the calories you burned, but you ate more than you would have eaten. Yep. So it's so I was stuck in that state too. And I was like, okay, I just can't eat any of these foods. And then I just felt like I was starving all the time. So it's just like, and then you fall off because you're not doing something sustainable. So what we're going to do is pretty much just go over I even want to get in the kitchen and cook up some things.
Indeed, and we will do that.
Because
I love to cook.
Yeah.
I love it, so.
And then some like basic calisthenic exercises you can do without a gym. Like seriously, like I've been doing the 100 push-ups a day at least. I think yesterday I did 150, bro.
Nah, bro, same with me,
bro.
Man.
Changing, like it's just like,
and it feels good. You bust them out, and everything just feels good. You're like, wow, that feels.
You just feel tight, bro.
You
just
do,
feel like,
bro.
You just feel good.
Indeed, man. It's
your whole core just feels like you feel I feel like a cat can. You know how a cat can just like move and just like catch itself in weird positions. You just feel like you're just like each muscle's been like activated and paid attention to, and it's like awake. So it's simple things like that. Like, right, like I probably spend, like I did 150 push-ups yesterday, and it took me less than 10 minutes. I do them spanned out. I maybe do 30 to 50 at one time.
Yeah.
Typically 50 the first time maybe, and then 30, and then it might be 20 depending on how tired I am. But so really, and then when I'm cooking in the kitchen, I got my dips and I'm doing my leg lifts, for my abs and stuff.
Yep.
So honestly, bro, it's like 15 minutes a day. So it's like my food choices and I'm able to maintain like the definition, you know what I mean? Like the body that I've always wanted, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Because like
Totally, bro.
I looked up to athletes, right? I was looking at Jordan. I'm like, dude, as a little kid, I'm looking at all the stats, how much they could bench. I was like, damn, Jordan's 6% body fat. I was like, I want to look like Jordan looks. I want to be athletic. I want to be fit. I want to be like that. You know what I mean? Right? You have people you look up to. And so just realizing, man, like we're dads, you know, we got work out full time, you know, so I think it's real is because we can meet most people where they're at.
Dude, that's precisely what it is. I mean, it's like I said, the big thing is neither of us go to the gym. I can't stand the gym.
And it's not just because we have fast metabolisms, because if we
bro,
gave
I
up
get so
tomorrow,
tired of that.
if we gave up tomorrow and if we ate greasy stuff all day long, it's just, you know.
We will gain weight,
we will
get out of shape, and we will get dad bods and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and dude, I gotta say this, and I've said this before, but I will never stop saying this. This is a fact. Everybody's physiology and metabolism and build and that's different.
Yeah.
But don't make an excuse about why you're not in shape. It's as simple as this. It's like we said, you put the work in, then you're gonna see the results. But it's like, you know, if you think that, okay, we've talked about this before, and this was the point I was gonna make. We were way more active as children than we are as adults. Even active adults not as active as most children are, right?
Because they're running around the playground, you know. I mean, they can't help themselves. They want to go run.
They're active every day.
Yeah.
We have to recognize, that's the first thing. Recognize that you're not as active as you were. So you aren't even in position to be burning calories like you used to. So that right there automatically, you know, let you know that it's imperative for you to make a paradigm shift as far as your caloric intake, what you eat. Mm-hmm. We both like to eat food. I like pizza and all that stuff,
Me
but
too.
It's all about how, when, how much, you know. You make these adjustments, and then you can kind of continue doing it. Okay, you've adjusted to where there's less action. So then pare your calories down, or pare when you take them, take them in down. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it's doable. But you have to recognize you can't continue on like you had been doing for years. And people go, my metabolism slowed down. It might have slowed down some, but
yeah.
But what is it? 800 calories over. You're burning 2, and you're taking in 8 over. Stop blaming your metabolism. It's not.
Yeah, it's math.
Indeed, it's simple. It's simple math.
It's simple math, really, when it comes down to it.
Burn 200, take on 800. I mean, come on.
You have to understand you're doing the work, because man, even this whole 30, right? That was 30 days. But that 30 days gave me these new habits of eating, bro. That I mean, what have we been 30 days? We've been almost 30 days past when we finished.
Yep.
And I'm at least 80-20. Like, so 80% of my food that I still eat is still just Whole 30. You know, like I've had some tamales, like, stuff like that or whatever. But like for the most part, I've been staying on the Whole 30. So it's just like anything, right? Like even your job, like if your job is just mindless, but when you first started, you had to learn the basics, right? You had to learn like these papers go over here. You have to email this to this person in this day, right? So like your first couple of weeks of a new job, you're just like, all right.
Even overwhelmed, dude.
Yeah, but then after a few years, maybe it's just like you can go to work and turn your brain off almost, right?
Exactly, dude.
Bro, and that's where you can get with certain things, right? Like you have to have.
This is no different.
Yeah, you have to have some intention and do the work to make new habits, new ways of doing things, to evolve.
Forming new synapses in your brain, man, for health. I mean, and at the end of the day, your body, your mind, everything's going to thank. Even people around you will thank you for it. Yeah. Your furniture is going to thank you for it. Everything's going to thank you for it. Your clothes.
But don't think you can't learn it, bro. We're learning new things.
Please don't think like that.
And
no.
all the time, it's like we can learn bad habits easier because you don't have to do anything to get them. Really, if you don't do anything, they're going to come along. You know what I mean? It's going to be the easiest thing.
Dude, exactly.
So it's like you obviously can fall into habits. You just got to do the work to fall into the good ones. Indeed. And then, dude, some of the stuff will somewhat be on autopilot, bro. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel like where I'm at now, I used to feel like it was just impossible, bro. Right? Because I would do dumb things like try to starve myself and then hit the gym really hard for a week and burn out.
But you were learning.
Go back. Yeah.
You were trying and you were learning.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like you said, if you're doing something, you're still lapping everybody on the couch.
Real talk.
So this isn't to discourage anybody who's trying that hasn't had results, right?
And anything we're saying, I'm like, look, gaining weight, being overweight, ain't nobody tripping about that.
Yeah.
All we're really doing is like we always do. We build and we connect. with each other as friends, but also with the rest of the world, and y'all included. We want to build and connect, and if we can help, in some way and be beneficial, then that lets us know that we did our job, as humans.
Let's put it this way: if you're looking for some inspiration, we're here to inspire. We're not here to to be mean or say anything like that, right?
Down, man. Yeah, we're not tearing anybody down. Well, that's not even how we are, man.
Bro, and honestly, it's like you gotta own it, right? This isn't for you, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta own your situation. If this isn't what you want to do, that's fine. But it's kind of like where our heads are at. It's the people we're inspired by kind of have the same attitude. So it's something that has worked for us.
Most
definitely.
I mean? And it can work for you. I mean, it's like, what did you just say a couple minutes ago? You're at a level that you might not have thought you probably never thought you could have been in a couple of years ago, but you're there now and improving. So, and this can be anybody. If we can do it, like we said before, anybody can do it.
Bro, like I'm seriously, like within just the stuff that I've learned like in the last 4 years and then doing this whole 30 and just getting even more back on track, man. I just feel like, bro, there's no reason I won't look like this when I'm 60,
Dude, I know a
70.
guy who's 60 right now who goes super hard. And this dude is 60. He goes hard, man. So, and that's what I tell myself. At 45, when I see a dude who's 15 plus years my senior going hard, that lets me know I can go even harder, or that lets me know that I can continue.
Yeah. And if you skate right now, dude, look at we're seeing right now that age is nothing but a number in some senses. I mean,
Facts.
It's about how you take care of yourself, right?
It is.
But it's a mental attitude too. You know what I mean? And some people are going to have some things, like some people have thyroid issues, you got to get that taken care of. And some people have like, joint problems or just whatever, you got to navigate around and you got to find your new lane maybe. But when you look at skateboarding, man, we're looking at like people like Tony Alva, for the most part, still doing he's still skating pools. The dude's in his 60s, you know what I mean? Lance Mountain, Steve Caballero, bro. Steve Cab still kills it, bro.
Totally. Hawk too.
Hawk still kills it, bro. Yeah.
Dude, he's what, mid-50s, late
Tommy
50s?
Guerrero, all those guys, bro.
Yeah.
All
guys
those
that
old
we
dudes.
grew up, that were the big guys when we were young that are still skating. So, and we're saying we don't have any excuse, and even excuses that look, it's doable. So I mean, figure out if you want it, then take the first step. And we're here to do what we can to help you get. We're gonna encourage you, just like we encourage each other and others around us.
Yeah. So we're gonna come at it with our perspective, and the way we do it, and just kind of
regular guys
doing some workouts. So yeah, we're gonna once, because we got a room here. Like you're not gonna see it, but we got a green screen behind us. This whole room, we're gonna do some nice produced workout videos, and we're gonna do some cooking up some good stuff that you could just not feel bad about. Because man, when you're eating on the whole 30, bro, you can it's like eating if you've ever done the raw diets. You're just you eat as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
Because so it's you don't have to starve yourself.
No, like I said before, I've made some of the dopest meals I've ever made on Whole 30 because you figure out how to make stuff work.
You still get fat, you still get salt.
Yeah, bro, you get a lot of fat. Whole 30 encourages fat.
Some good stuff.
Instead of sugar and starch. I mean, bro, yeah, man, this has almost been 2 videos, man.
Yeah.
So, but dope, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, so I think that pretty much sums it up. So yes, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Grown Man Cypher with
dope, man.
More to come. Thanks for staying in. Anybody that's been a regular viewer, we appreciate it.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things we've been talking about that we're still working on, you know what I mean? So, but no doubt, appreciate all you.
Running like 100 kids for weakness from an enemy. I pray for them God, so keep my faith outside the energy. You're messing with the savage, get you cash just like a heresy. That when I carry out, got angels and they watching me. Yeah.